Hey, what's good, people? It's Matthew, and welcome to today's video on day 31 on my project 100. On my way to 100K with trading and following or showing the journey to you guys. And today is a very special day. Today, with that, is also my second YouTube video. I decided for myself I want to do every 3 days one, just to give you guys an update. So the format is going to be very similar to the formats before. I'm just going to keep you guys updated, and I'm basically just going to show the journey a little bit more in detail and talk to with maybe some notes here. And day 31, I actually called in my community my biggest investment, which is the little surprise that I had for the people following me on Twitter. Project 100 Project 100, my biggest investment. If some of you guys that are close to me obviously know what this is about, some of you guys are still close to me but don't know what this is about, and some of you guys maybe look this in the future and they're not even close to me. So essentially what happened today, as of the 22nd of September, I made the decision for myself to buy into Karosh Akay's mentorship, which is going to be for 6 months over the time span of the 14th of October plus 6 months. And I'm going to share this journey with you guys. I'm going to share this journey with myself, with my girlfriend, who is going to live with me in Cape Town, because this is actually one very cool fact. It's going to be over the time span I'm going to be in Cape Town, which is I'm landing on the 15th of October, and I'm flying away 6 months later, which is ironically a very, very cool coincidence. As a lot of things in real life that are good are cool coincidences. But essentially, I decided it for myself because I definitely realized it's time for me to step up my game. I didn't want to pay with my time anymore. I wanted to speed up the process, not in the sense, actually maybe in the sense which we're going to get into later, as one challenges I see in this coaching, in the sense of I want the results quicker. And Karosh Akay definitely says his number one reason his students that fail is greed, or what did he say? What was it? I don't remember the exact wording, but essentially having the demeanor, oh, I need the success as soon as possible, being impatient with success, wanting it as soon as possible, being and then just destroying your whole process because you want money. And this pressure that you create externally feeds into you and destroys your success. And he said this is the number one reason why his losing mentors lose or don't succeed. So this is definitely a thing I have to keep in mind as an alert. I have to work on that. Multiple ways on how to approach this, with setting the conditions or essentially creating the environment in which this behavior will not be tolerated, such as if I have a job, for instance, like I take on a sales job, let's say, or I work online for like scripting something, building websites, whatever it is, this gives me a safety net, which leads to the conclusion that the behavior of like greediness or wanting, like impatience, will not sneak in. So this is definitely one thing I have to go a little bit deeper and have to put some thoughts into it. But yeah, guys, this is a decision I made today. Very funny, actually. I had the sales call. I had one sales call before that. He brought me through everything. Sounded really nice. Max, shout out to you if you're watching that. I'm going to probably share that with you as well if you want to take a look at this. But essentially, it was like a bouncing back and forth, not really sure on the second call. The first call, it all sounded nice. I just did my research just because I didn't really feel the security or the credibility towards Karosh itself and the company as well. But the part company was rather small, which evolved over the time to be the biggest part, or my bottleneck to make the decision. At the beginning, was just not really trusting Karosh. Can he actually deliver? Can they actually solve my problems? The more I watch the testimonial videos, but also more importantly, the free resources, I saw some resemblances towards the mentors that I have, and essentially also the way he communicates, the words he picks, the sentences, his thought patterns. really resonated to me in a way that I felt the urge that this could be the moment. And also the whole process was built up in a way that I was like, that sounds good. That sounds good as well. Ooh, I actually need that right now. So the whole essence of why I joined is I've got a mentor one to one, or it's actually 3 coaches I'm going to have contact to, and they're going to give me active feedback. I can have as many calls as I want with the coaches, with the mentors, and essentially tell them this is where I am, and have an objective and neutral perspective from somebody way ahead of me telling me, Matthew, stop doing this, start doing this. And what I will do then, which is also another challenge I'm introducing to you guys already, is shutting down my ego and saying, okay, I need to learn from this guy. I'm just going to do exactly what he says, and see what what I get as a response. This is factor number 1. And second factor, buying into community. Essentially, there's a hurdle. It's like a gated community. You can only join in if you have a house for $1 million. So everybody that is in this gated community has a house of $1 million. It's access to a specific type of people that have a specific type of money to invest in themselves. So if you're willing to pay this amount of money, it's 8.5K, you're probably invested into believing you can do it, and you are committed to do it, not just like a normal Discord group which costs like $100 a month, which I've also joined in the past. People feel it's like, how can I describe it? The avatar in this case is just way more poop. easier said than what it is. But yeah, the community is just full of people that want to have quick success. They want to join and just get the signals and just make money quick, and they think, oh, $100 is going to be worth it. But they don't really are there to grow as traders. This is what I realized with Wealth Group, for instance, which was kind of sad, but I will never judge that. I think they're doing an awesome job of what they're doing. They're giving the best. They're providing so much value. So I think this is step 1. It's actually a good thing to join there. But if you're serious, if you're more serious, or you're a guy that already has more money, I think it's more valuable to immediately get into mentorship, to just bypass all this noise and bullshit and hype and enjoyment and emotions in this community, which are created for a reason. Obviously, it's a big community that can move markets. So if one person in the community says, hey, buy this coin, everybody does, and the market pumps in this specific coin. But yeah, that's food for another thought. Essentially, yeah, the decision was made today after a long call again. In the middle of the call, it wasn't a no for a big part. I was like, I think I'm not going to do that actually. Because there was one reason, which was they don't have reviews online. If you go into Trustpilot, independent platforms which have usually people going in there making reviews, they don't have anything. Like, it's very hard finding anything about the coaching, about the mentorship. And I was like, where are all the people besides the one that did testimonials? It was like, in my mind, rationally and like objectively, very hard to understand. Like, where are they? There is no single one that has a negative thing to say. There has to be some type of scam. This is essentially the red flag that popped up. But Max, I think, did a really good job of rationalizing it as far as it's rationalizable, because at the end of the day, it has to still be a decision based on I trust him and I trust Karouche, or else I could not make the decision to buy into their course, because there is no fact. There is nobody talking about this online. It's crazy, but it's what it is. I trust him, I trust them, both, but more importantly, I also trust me. So despite the data saying no, I trust that my ability to analyze people and understand how far they've come in, how much they put into this conversation, and like the techniques they're using on a sales technique or a sales base, they don't seem like a scam. It would be well to put together, and my judgment on people in this case, I think, is very accurate, or at least I haven't been proven wrong so far. If I will be proven wrong at this point, for instance, it's a learning itself, and I can teach you guys what to look after, which is important things to do. And I will never like say, oh my God, it's their mistake. It's whatever. Of course, they're scammers, they're shit people, but I would never like go into victim mentality and saying it's not my mistake, I did everything right. No, I can learn from that as well, even if I lost 8.5K. So yeah, I'm excited. It's a big investment. It starts in October, 8.5K. It starts on October 14th. Happens for 6 months, and yeah, this is essentially what the big decision or the big thing that I wanted to share with you guys is from today. Maybe some other more like operational things on the side of trading and of the development and things like that, since I think I have already mentioned everything important. Yeah, I just want to say I feel good. I feel pumped up. I feel ready to take my trading into the next level, learn a lot of things about myself, and more importantly, I'm really looking forward documenting this everything online, putting myself out there and seeing what comes out of that. But as of right now, I'm just going to focus on journaling everything into my community and YouTube as more of a video format. But yeah, let's get into the last 3 days performance. What happened? So as for the last 2 weeks, majority of my actions were actually dedicated for finding out more information about the coaching, for checking out competition, having calls with other competitions, having connections with other competitions. This has been finished now. So from now, probably I'm also going to be starting to trade more, just because this also gives me data that I can show to them, so we can go into problem solving as soon as possible to find out what has to be done. So that to this part. And yeah, so I can pop in right now. 1 and 2. Yesterday's trade was essentially HBAR that I took on a short notice. It was a very quick trade. It actually closed above entry, but for the reason that it was going up and didn't even react to the 0.75. I let it run, and it had an amazing run and went up to like 17 RR. So for $1, I would have gotten $17. So a crazy risk reward. But I closed it at 3 RR for full take profit, which is part of my strategy. I just look at my next FTA, which is first trouble area, to look if to take full profit there and just grow that account as soon as possible and not maximize for small big winners, but a lot of small winners, just to keep my win rate high. At least this is procedure for now. Maybe this will change, but yeah, there was no trend line. It was just the strategy that I'm using that I updated with you guys yesterday on Instagram. It's essentially very, very simple way of looking at the strategies. I just want to see an explosive move to the downside or upside for longs with increase of volume, basically saying that there is definitely buyers or sellers stepping in there. So it's probably a move that it has to be respected. And then on the retracement back to the 0.75 Fibonacci, I take a short for the drops, or I take a long for the longs. So it's momentum continuation trades. And yeah, it was a very clean daily support resistance area, as I can post this right now here as well, as you can see it on this chart. So I took this. And on today, actually, I took a Bitcoin trade, which is this one. I woke up, I saw Bitcoin drop all the way down to 112K, and the rest of the market as well, which maybe as a side information as well, with all the investments I had with Bybit and things like that, I basically sold off everything just to have the safety net now that I can have my life in Cape Town, survive for the next 1 year without having to manage anything. So basically took care of the net worth, that it's safe now and it's not all invested into something. So I'm definitely completely off leverage. I don't have any trades running in the sense of Bybit long-term trades. All of what I have right now is still the on-chain back, but this one is massively underwater, but I'm just going to keep that because I don't need it. And my stocks as well, have them running. I actually only have 3 of those running. But yeah, essentially this is the Bitcoin trade. I already stopped out break even. It wasn't really a very good one. I was anticipating a quick reversal after the fill, but it actually popped up a little bit, then closed under the entry. And when I saw that, I put stop loss break even, because this is the rule. Here you guys can see my result over this month actually, which has been profitable, I think, at that point. Let me just calculate it. Actually, no, it's not profitable this month, but last month has been profitable. Yeah, as you guys can see, or not last month. Last month also hasn't been profitable. But here you can see my equity curve over the last 46 trades. We have been building over like a slope, so it seems like the losers are definitely slowing down, and I'm picking up some momentum here. But we will see how this will progress over time. I'm very optimistic over the future, midterm future, but I'm also very optimistic over the short-term future. I think with this dedication now, it kind of feels like I turned pro. Like I invested in myself as a fee to join the university or whatever. In this case, the mentorship, and now it's essentially time to. You guys already know my most favorite phrase of 2025, which is move mountains. So essentially, do everything that somebody that is successful has to do, and just ruthlessly following behavioral patterns, and how to set the environment conditions as such that the behavior is easy. That's why an environment being set by investing into yourself is just holding you so massively accountable that all of a sudden you behave way differently and way better, like a professional trader does. So I feel like I turned pro, or maybe it's the beginning of turning pro. I want to stay humble as much as I can. But yeah, this is the update for the week. It's Monday right now at 7 o'clock. I think I'm actually going to go to the gym now, just because I didn't really have time so far. Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll see you Thursday. Cheerio.